The Giants quarterback situation has already been decided. And at the same time, it's already flashing signs of red. It is already showing a lot of reasons to be concerned. And it's not for Russell Wilson. Brian Dable comes out on Wednesday. He says, these guys will be out here competing, but Russ is our starter. It's been emphasized by multiple reporters that like Dart's going to get his chance soon. His day will come. No one knows when that is. Speculation, it could be right after the bye week. I believe they play the Commanders right after the bye week. Could also be against the Saints in week 5 if Russ ends up completely melting down. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think it's going to be week 5 against the Saints. I think Russ is going to do just enough. And it sounds like there's already pretty positive reviews for how Russ is commanding everything. He's showing up. He's doing all the right things. I also think one thing that's forgotten about, by the way, with Russell Wilson, he's kind of turned into this risk-averse quarterback that just like is always going to do the safest possible thing. That was him last year. That was why they struggled, is he was super timid, and he's now not as mobile, so he's not really very threatening. So I don't think he's ever going to really put them in a position where it's like Daniel Jones-esque. The turnovers are so bad, the mistakes are so bad, the balls are so errant that it's like, oh, great, here we go. We need something. We need a spark. If anything, it's just going to be a lot of low-scoring games that they're in that they're going to feel justified in keeping Russell Wilson in. So I'm not there on the whole Dart's coming in soon, especially for the fact that Dart's coming out and he's been incredibly shaky. That's what all the practice reports have been. I'm not going to overreact. I'm promising Giants fans this. I'm not overreacting. I'm not there. I'm not covering the practices. I'm not visually seeing what he's doing on every single throw. I'm merely going off of what beat reporters are saying, the video of him throwing the pick 6 on his very first throw. He threw a touchdown on his very first throw on Thursday. Things are a little dicey, though, to the point where the Giants had to put up signs telling fans not to record video in order to avoid potentially this happening again. But I don't see the value in playing Dart. I don't. And I think that this is already an indication that whatever he does when he steps on the field is going to be messy. It's going to be a mess. If you want to be competitive, and this is why I didn't want them to draft him in the first place, if you were going to sign Russell Wilson and you wanted to be competitive, keep the freaking pick that you had. Keep the pick, draft an offensive lineman in the second round, instead of grabbing a guy who is deemed developmental. Developmental to what? I think that we need to remove any expectation of anything happening because this guy shouldn't see the field.
Yeah, day one, no signs at Giants camp, and that's when the video of Dart throwing the as a Twitter user made me laugh out loud with this term hokey down the field in 4K. Next day, no videotaping during team periods. Thank you. Common practice. Don't tape during our team periods. I've seen this in other, around other NFL practices.
The timing is just
timing and knowing what got out there on day one, worst optics possible. The last thing, and in training camp stats this year have gone out of, they're unreal. Seeing the 77 for 80, 900 yards, and I've seen them. We should not take practice stats or really practice and gauge what's going on unless players are swinging helmets at each other or there are 5 fights breaking out and the coaches were yelling at each other. It was a complete mess. Like that's when practice should get really cut apart by the general public, by the analysts and the reporters. It's just another day in the office for them. They did team period. They did some indie. They worked 2-minute. They worked red zone and some other situational stuff. It's real boring stuff if you go to the practice. You just like seeing the big athletes run. What you don't like seeing is the first-round quarterback throwing picks all over the place with his sexy blonde hair and his laissez-faire demeanor behind a nut job.
Sexy.
Well, his hair is pretty nice. Behind Russell Wilson, certified nutcase. Awesome football guy, but certified nut. And then Jameis Winston, who I'd be happy playing him all 17 games personally. I just want to see it. I want to see Jameis with a real defense. Oh, fire me up.
He's going to get cut.
No, he's not, man. No way.
There's no reason to keep him.
Heart. That's what Jameis brings to the New York Giants team.
Yeah, they need a whole lot of that.
Jaxson Dart, what do you do with this dude this season after seeing shakiness at the beginning of training camp?
Lock him in the locker room and don't let him leave.
They should lock him in the locker room until the end of September. They should say, for September, you are not getting out there no matter what. If we are 4-0 then you're not getting out there. You can suit up. If we are 3-1, same situation. 2-2, I'd ride with Russ. Losing record, well, that's when WFAN starts getting the calls. Winless in September, Dart's in first game of October. That's how it shakes out for the Giants this year, Joe. It'll be a lot. That's how I see it.
Well, what's going to happen here realistically? Whenever Dayball gets fired, probably be mid-season. Although they typically don't do that, by the way. The Giants don't usually do that, by the way. They usually wait until the end of the season to make decisions like that. But if he gets fired mid-season, they're just going to throw him out there. John Mara is going to make the call. I mean, like, just put him out there. We need to see if this guy is worth anything.
Sure.
And he's going to be a mess.
And that's inoffensive to me. If the season's tanked and you throw the kid in,
I'd rather watch Tommy DeVito, if I'm being completely honest.
That's crazy. Why would you not get the live bullet? He needs live bullet reps. If you want to know if he's a dude or not, Jaxson Dart is not going to walk onto the football field and beat Jesus.
That's fair.
We need to go and see his real pros.
A lot of Giants fans have perceived him to be. By the way, the interception
that can't be real, right?
Dude, there's no in between. And this is the whole thing that was so frustrating for me with Daniel Jones back when I was like in the thick of it for Giants coverage, and now I'm re-entering that soon. Whenever I would like publicly be like, this guy stinks. This guy sucks. This guy's awful. He should not be the Giants starting quarterback. And the fact that he keeps getting these chances is pathetic. In every corner of the internet, there was somebody coming to defend him, to be like, how dare you say that the offensive line that he has is horrible. There's excuse. And there's going to be excuses for Jaxson Dart throughout this whole path. That's all that's been happening for him during training camp. It's all, well, he's a rookie. Well, he threw a touchdown today. That's why I'm like coming out here and stating I don't care what he does during training camp. I don't care what he does during the preseason. He's gonna play crap during the preseason. He's not gonna play well. He's not. He's gonna be running with the twos on a team that has a bad backup offensive line, bad backup receivers.
It'd be like Ole Miss. It'd be like watching him at Ole Miss.
What are you talking about? They at least had a creative offensive coordinator cooking things up and some weapons for him to throw to.
You don't think the Giants can get creative this year?
Not with the backup offense in a preseason game. That's not happening.
I didn't think Ole Miss was that. I thought Ole Miss, as soon as they started getting creative, they put the colored pencils away and got right back to the pens doing arithmetic. Like, they left so much meat on the bone last year to be creative in that offense with the talent around them, and they didn't do it. And all they had willing them to any wins was Jaxson Dart pulling himself up off the ground. Nice work, Ole Miss offensive lineman, by the way. Like, never saw him get helped up. I'm not
defending him.
Dude, they never helped him up off the ground. And he just pushed himself up, bloodied gladiator, alpha, and then went down and ended up winning games. NFL doesn't really work like that because you don't have a 190-pound corner that isn't going to the league tackling you. You have guys that are made out of rebar. You have guys that could genuinely run through brick walls in their shoulder pads and rip you apart. Jaxson Dart is not pushing himself up off the ground in the NFL. Toughness, sure.
I will 100% say that he's tough as nails. That was like the biggest thing for me on my scouting report on him when I was doing draft prep, is that he is tough as hell in the pocket. Like, he will withstand any hit, any contact that's sent his way. And I think that's part of why it'll be fine if he starts the last couple of games of the season, the minute that they're out of the playoff hunt, that just go take the
last couple of games,
the bullets. Okay. Last half of the season. Don't act like that doesn't always happen, where at the end of the year, it's like still in the hunt and they're 3.
You think you're not going to be eliminated by December?
There's been multiple 2 years ago when DeVito was starting, people thought that they were going to make the playoffs, and they were like 4 games under 500.
The NFC was in a really bad spot 2 years ago. We were looking at this like, do we need to move some AFC teams over here to get some balance? Because they got all the quarterbacks, they got all the defense, they got all the wide receivers.
Now the NFC's got Jaxson Dart.
Now the NFC's got Jaxson Dart. Hell yeah. And Tyler Shuck coming at you. Hot and ready. I love this Giants team. By the way, I love this Giants team. I will excitedly watch the Giants every single week.
Well, you're going to be doing that with me. The Abdul Carter at least is out here doing backflips, which is cool as shit. That makes me happy.
You should never do another backflip again.
Why?
Why would you ever take that risk?
What, the Savannah Bananas guy landing on his face? He's more of a freak athlete than anybody on the field. Abdul Carter is like the most amazing gift that has been handed to the New York Giants. They shouldn't have been able to draft him at 3rd overall.
What about those 2 Super Bowls over Tom Brady? How about those 2 gifts?
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about in terms of like roster making decision. It is on par with the ability to draft Lawrence Taylor. I don't think people realize how good Abdul Carter could be, that he could end up being in striking distance of what Taylor did.
I will.
That gifted.
I'll repeat this point. Abdul Carter in a wide 9 last year was the scariest thing in college football that anybody could see. It didn't matter. No receiver lining up against you out wide. No quarterback locked in, ready to dot you up. Scariest thing another college football player could see was Abdul Carter in a wide 9, just running at you. Big fat offensive tackle, stuck. It doesn't matter how fast your feet are. He's just going to beast you. And if he starts doing that to some NFL guys, lifting them up,
he's gonna. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be some poor sucker in week 2 that's not going to be ready for him to unroot them through their chest. He's gonna have a big sack. I'm juiced up for
fired up.
Carter.
I want to get fired up for the G-men.
This is what the world's going to be. They're going to allow 6 points per game. They're going to have the best defense in the NFL.
Love it.
And they're going to average scoring 4 points per game, which I don't even know how that's possible.
The NFL is just slightly better when the Giants are really competitive than it is when the Giants are a comically bad circus at the bottom. With them being competitive, adds so much fire to the NFC. Adds a layer instead of, and also, this would be like a TV show coming back after being canceled for 10 years. And you're like, they're back? It's the return of Dexter. It's not going to be the 2012 defense, but you're sitting here like, I'm watching Dexter in 2025, new episodes. This is pretty good. I'm fired up.